Welcome back to WT Bricks for another episode of Building Mandalore in Lego. This week I want to start off on the front of the build here. So I want to remove this dark bluish grey section here, or amend it, so I might put a pattern in there, but I also want to see what it looks like with a glass section in there. I want to build the glass section that goes in the bottom there, put the doors on either side here, and also have a little bit of a play with this grey section there. The actual dark bluish grey section around the outside, that's not going to change at all, but the actual bit of glass that comes in and out there, I'm contemplating just tweaking that a little bit to make it look a little bit better than it currently does. So without further ado, let's get the bricks out and let's get started. And here is the glass panel on the lower section here. It is quite flimsy, as these are 1x1 bricks down the sides in front of the 6x5 trans blue panels. However, I'm not convinced this looks right down here. And what I'm considering doing is moving this section up to the top, and down the bottom here putting a doorway in the bottom and then some sort of pattern above it. So that's just what I'm considering doing at the moment. It won't take too much, as behind this section here I haven't connected these walls to the pillars. So I think I'm going to make those changes and hopefully that'll be the best way forward. And we have a little bit of a mess here. The tear down of the front section here has started. Start building the pillars up at the back here. I'm going to carry on building them up, and then we'll have the room on here which will go up with the glass section on the front of it. This bit here I'm going to have it so it steps back by 4 or 5 bricks, and then I have the doorway just here, and then put some sort of slopes going around the entrance to the doorway. But yeah, I think it's going to work out a lot better having it this way. I think the door is going to look better than having the glass section down the bottom of the build. And that's the lower section all amended. Still need to do the tile effect on the snot wall just there. This pattern just here, I've actually seen this online on a couple of different images, so I thought I'd replicate that onto that wall, as it's clearly a Mandalorian symbol of some description. So I think that looks quite good there. And now what I'm doing is starting to build the rooms up on this section just here, then I can slide the glass panel on the front. But really happy I made the decision to change this down the bottom here. I think it's looking a lot better. And a little bit more progress has been made to the front of the build here. The 2 rooms, they're all ready now for details and to have the tile doors put onto the snot bricks just there. I've also put these 2 indented patterns or shapes into the wall there in the light tan colour, and I have seen those on a couple of images, and I thought again it's just something else to bring a little bit more character to the build, another colour. And again, by stepping it back by half a stud, it just makes it look a little bit tidier, I think, rather than just having it all one smooth surface on there. I put some of the masonry bricks around the reverse way round just to give some more lines onto the build, and again it's so I can keep it nice and smooth but add a little bit more detail to the build. Now I've done all that, I'm going to work on the window section that's going to go in there, and hopefully that really set off this area just here. And finally happy with this building at the back here. It's taken a while, but we got there eventually. And the problem I was having was with this inverted slope. On this side of it there is some holes that show, and I've had to cover them up using some tiles and a snot brick. Previously I had another row of bricks going down the edge there, however that made the pillar there just a little bit too wide for the look that I was looking for. But all in all, much happy with how this whole section is starting to come together now with the window sections on there. One of the other things I need to start working on are the doors, because once I put the doors on there I think it's just going to transform it quite a bit and make it look a lot tidier. Then I can start working on the walkway that's going to be going all the way around the edge here, and then I can carry on building all the way up there. The next part I want to work on is the platforms on the top here, and I've been looking at images from the episode The Plot of Mandalore on the Clone Wars, and there are a couple of different styles I saw for the balcony. You've got a solid wall or you've got railings as such, and I think the solid wall would probably be a lot easier, as the railings I don't think I've got any piece that I can use that's going to look thin enough on that particular section. Also the details on the floor. For the floor I'm going to start off with a light tan tile around the very edge, and then in the centre go for an alternative colour. Now I know there are a lot of patterns in there, however due to the size of this platform I don't think it's going to actually be possible to get those details in there. One other thing I think would look quite good on here would be to have a couple of the trees. But again, I haven't got any green bricks to enable me to make those at the moment, but they are things that I will add on to a little bit further down the line. But anyway, let's start on this left-hand platform here and let's see how it comes out. I've made a third of these towers, as you can see, and I've attached all 3 of them to the build and also added a small section on the bottom. And all I need to do is add some form of railing along the front side here. Now, I will build a couple more to go along here, but I need to find out another 20 of the 3x2x1 light bluish grey slopes. I've got plenty of the inverted ones and all the other parts I need for it, but there's those slopes. I have got a whole load of them somewhere, but where they are, I'm not quite sure. I'm sure we'll find them eventually. Now, with these sections at the top here, as you can see, I've started to add some more details onto these platform areas, and I've put these dark trans blue tiles on the floor here. As you see in this image here, it looks like the floor is a glass-like material. However, I'm not sure if this is quite the right tone. I did try the light trans blue, but it wasn't right. So I'm just going to get some more of these off the pick brick wall next time I'm in Dublin. Put it all down on there, see how it looks, and hopefully that'll be okay. If not, I'll look to see what other blues there are available from lego.com, and we'll just order some of those in and tile that all off. Next up, I'm going to turn my attention over to this building just here, and I want to make the glass section that goes in here. It's going to be a dark bluish grey frame with the trans blue glass behind it, and I want to have a pattern on there that's a little bit different than any of the ones that I've done previously. So I'm going to get the grey bricks out and see what sort of pattern we can create for that section. The windows all sorted out for the 2 buildings on the right hand side. Both of these sections are removable, so I can then go inside and put all of the details on the rooms in there. We have 3 rooms in both of these, so there's plenty of storytelling I'll be able to do further down the line. Really looking forward to doing that. Just need to work out what I'm going to be doing with that. Now, this one here, I'm not 100% sold on it. I think the lines just look a little bit thick for that size window. I think if I was going to go for that sort of pattern, it would have probably been better off on something that sort of size, as I could have spaced the gaps out that a little bit better. But I'll have a think about it. Again, where these are removable, it is something that I can quite easily change in the future. Now, there are plenty of decisions I need to make with the mock going forward. I need to build the platform on the bottom of this section here, so that's going to hang from the bottom, and then that will determine whether or not those 2 little builds there can stay there. If not, I don't want to destroy them. I'm really happy with those, so I would just move them somewhere else, and they may very well end up just on this edge along here. One other thing I need to work out is what I'm going to do with this floor section. I was originally going to do it brick built, and then I was thinking about tiling it, but I need to work out what's going to enable me to do the best job on there. If I do the brick effect, the snot brick, so the bricks are laid on their side, I can get better angles than what I can do with tiles. So I think that is possibly the best way forward for that, or I might do it half and half. So one section where I want a lot of details, I'll do bricks. If it's not that much detail, then I'll do tiles, as the tiles are much cheaper. With this section over here, I'm a lot happier with how this window has come out, but I still need to work out what I'm going to be doing on this platform area just at the top here. On these 2 sections just here, I did come across some of the sand green and the sand blue tiles, and I've popped those down as well as the blue ones there. Just have a think about what colour I think looks best for doing on the floors there. And at the moment, I'm thinking it's possibly between the blue and the trans blue just there. So be interested to see what you guys think on there, whether you think the green, blue or the trans is the best way forward. Now, I'm going to Dublin this week, and I'm hoping that the Lego store has some grey plates in. I know they were due to have a delivery in today, so fingers crossed they have some 8x8 grey plates, as I really need some to do the walkway all the way around here. Once I've done that, I can carry on building all the way up with this. One other thing I do need to start working out is how I'm going to be designing the rooms that are going in here. So I'm going to be having the elevator shaft there, where Bo-Katan has a battle, and also the prison cells as well. So again, I just need to work out how I'm going to be building the prison cells so I can order in all of the relevant parts. But yeah, really pleased with the amount of progress I got done this week. It's certainly starting to feel more and more like Mandalore. The more windows I get put in, every time I add another trans blue section on there, it just feels so much better and more complete. And again, a lot happier with the decision to redo this section and put a doorway at the bottom and the window at the top. But the doors are something I do need to start working on. These ones just here, I was going to tile them. However, I'm thinking that I might need to do a brick built one. And again, now is the time to do it if I want to, as is very minimal damage I would need to make to it. I could probably just pop those out and put a brick built one in there and then just squeeze everything back together. But yeah, there it is. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this update. If you have, please remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. And if you know anybody else you think they'd be interested in building Mandalore or building Gotham, if you could share the channel with them, it'll be much appreciated. Anyway, thanks for popping on by, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.